What if I told you that the difference between the people who struggle and those who effortlessly win isn't talent? It isn't even about hard work or being lucky. The real secret is something much more subtle. It is something incredibly powerful. While most people just react to life, a small group of people thinks strategically. They don't just respond to challenges, they actually see them coming. They don't just solve problems, they stop them before they even start. They don't just adapt to change, they are the ones who create it. Strategic thinking is the ultimate skill. It is the ability to see patterns where other people only see chaos. It is about finding opportunities where others only see big obstacles. It is about winning the game before it even begins. This isn't just for business. This is about mastering the art of living your life. Whether you are building a career or making a relationship work, strategy gives you an edge. It is an unfair advantage. But here's the thing that most people miss. Strategic thinking is not a mystical gift. You don't have to be a CEO or a famous general to have it. It is a system you can learn. It is built on mental models and simple frameworks. The problem is that school never taught us this. You were expected to figure it out on your own. But today, that finally changes. Welcome to our channel, Elite Summaries. If you want to master the game of life, make sure to subscribe and join our community. By the end of this video, you will think differently. You will see the world through a new lens. You will learn to play the game of life like a grandmaster plays chess. Most people live in reactive mode. They wake up and just respond to demands. They put out fires all day long. They go to bed exhausted. They wonder why they never get ahead. They are always playing defense. They are always one step behind. This is the default way to exist. It is exactly why most people never reach their potential. Strategic thinkers operate differently. They know life is not just random events. It is a system of cause and effect. You can influence this system. You can direct it. You can leverage it. The strategic mindset starts with a big realization. Your current position is not permanent. Every situation can change. The real question is, who is directing that change? Is it you? Or are you just reacting to it? Strategic thinkers choose to be the authors of their own story. They are not passive characters in a narrative written by someone else. They zoom out to see the big picture. Then they drill down into the tiny details. Most people get trapped in one extreme or the other. They get lost in the daily grind, or they dream about the future and never take action. A strategic thinker moves fluidly between both levels. They know everything is connected. Your career affects your health. Your financial habits change your relationships. Life is an integrated system. A change in one area ripples through everything else. You also need situational awareness. This is the ability to understand your environment. Most people have tunnel vision. They only see what is right in front of them. You need to scan for signals and trends. You need to spot the patterns that everyone else misses. This awareness includes being honest with yourself. You need to know your strengths and your blind spots. You cannot build a strategy without brutal honesty. This isn't about being mean to yourself. It is about an accurate assessment. It allows you to make decisions based on reality, not on wishful thinking. A strategic mindset also loves complexity. Most people want simple answers, but real life is messy. Powerful strategies often hold multiple perspectives at once. Strategic thinkers also have a special relationship with time. They know different actions take different amounts of time to work. Some moves pay off today, others take years to grow. You have to balance short-term needs with long-term goals. Never sacrifice your future for a quick win. But don't ignore the present either. You also need emotional regulation. You must think clearly under pressure. When stress hits, most people get narrow-minded. They become reactive. You must train yourself to stay calm. This gives you a massive advantage. You will see solutions that stressed minds simply cannot find. Strategic intelligence isn't about being book smart. Many brilliant people struggle with strategy. This is because they look for one right answer. But real life doesn't have a textbook. Strategic intelligence is about navigating uncertainty. It is about making choices with incomplete information. The foundation of this is pattern recognition. Everything in life follows a pattern. Market cycles follow them. Human behavior follows them. Most people only notice a pattern after it is over. By then, the opportunity is gone. You need to train yourself to see patterns while they are still forming. This allows you to move before anyone else knows what is happening. To do this, you have to consume information differently. Don't just look at the content. Look at the structure underneath. Don't just watch events. Look for the forces that caused them. Ask yourself why something happened. Ask why it happened now. Ask what made it possible. The next pillar is systems thinking. You must see how different parts interact. A change in one spot causes a cascade elsewhere. Most people think linearly. They think A leads directly to B. But strategic thinkers know small changes can have massive effects. Sometimes the best way to change a result is to look at something unrelated. You also need to understand feedback loops. Some loops amplify change. Others create stability and resist it. Stop fighting against strong negative loops. Find a way to trigger positive ones instead. This creates big results with very little effort. You also need scenario planning. This is the ability to imagine multiple futures. Most people only have one plan. When reality doesn't match their plan, they are lost. Strategic thinkers prepare for the best case and the worst case. They create flexible plans. This isn't about predicting the future. No one can do that. It is about expanding your mental models. It helps you recognize a situation faster when it actually happens. You can act decisively while others are still confused. Think about counterfactuals, too. Ask how things could have been different. If one factor changed, what would have happened? This helps you understand causation. It makes you better at future predictions. You also need to think about multiple time horizons at once. Every decision has immediate effects and long-term consequences. Most people only look at the immediate ones. You should evaluate every choice across 3 time frames. Look for the move that wins in all of them. Your strategy must adapt to the phase you are in. What works at the start won't work when you are scaling. What works during growth won't work during maintenance. You also need metacognitive awareness. This is thinking about your own thinking. Notice your own mental patterns. Are they limiting you? Challenge your own assumptions. Most people are trapped by their own unconscious thoughts. You must make your process visible so you can fix it. Don't forget emotional intelligence. Emotions are not the enemy. They are actually data. They tell you about values and priorities, but they can also cloud your judgment. A strategic thinker acknowledges the emotion without letting it drive the car. Factor the emotional dynamics of others into your plan. There are rules that govern strategic advantage. If you master these, you can win in any situation. The first law is positioning. Your position determines your options. Your options determine your outcomes. Most people focus on working hard. They ignore where they are standing. That is like trying to win a race from the wrong starting line. Put yourself where good outcomes are likely. Find a place where you have many options, but your rivals have few. Leverage your strengths and hide your weaknesses. Positioning is also about perception. Sometimes it is better to be underestimated. Sometimes it is better to be seen as essential. Shape how others see you to create an advantage. The second law is timing. The right action at the wrong time is a failure. Most people act too early or way too late. Timing requires patience. You have to wait for the right moment. But you also need the courage to act when that moment arrives. Understand the natural rhythms of the system. Don't try to force your own timeline on the world. The third law is concentration. Success comes from focusing your resources. Most people spread themselves too thin. They try to do everything and end up being average at everything. Identify the few activities that drive most of your results. Be ruthless about cutting out the rest. This applies to your time and your relationships. You cannot focus on everything. Choose what truly deserves your energy. The fourth law is leverage. Small efforts can create huge results if you find the right spot. Stop using brute force. Harder is not always better. Find the points where minimal input gives maximum output. This can be through technology or relationships. Leverage comes from combining forces. Your skills are more powerful when they are used in the right context. Look for things that multiply rather than just add up. The fifth law is adaptation. The world is always changing. What worked yesterday might fail today. Most people resist change. They try to force old ways to work. You must sense changes and adjust your approach. Keep your core goals, but be flexible about how you get there. Find the balance between staying consistent and being adaptable. The sixth law is information asymmetry. Knowing something others don't is a huge edge. But information is only useful if you act fast. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Develop better sources of info. Act on insights before they become common knowledge. Understand what your competitors don't know. See the biases that make them misread the situation. The seventh law is optionality. Having options is better than having a perfect plan. Detailed plans often break when reality hits. Keep your ability to choose between different paths. Make investments that open doors rather than closing them. Flexibility has value, even if it feels less efficient. All these laws work together. Good positioning creates better timing. Proper timing allows for focus. Focus creates leverage. Leverage helps you adapt. Every situation is like an iceberg. What you see on the surface is just a tiny piece. Beneath the surface are hidden agendas. There are power dynamics and historical contexts. There are psychological patterns. Learning to read this invisible game is what makes you a master. Start by looking at motivations. What people say and what they want are often different. Someone might say they want teamwork, but they actually want control. Watch what people do consistently. Don't just listen to their words. Notice the informal power structures. Every group has them. Who really makes the decisions? Who influences the boss? Who can stop a project? Power isn't just about a title. It comes from expertise or relationships. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most powerful. Map these networks and find your place in them. Think about history too. Every situation was shaped by what happened before you arrived. Old decisions and broken relationships matter. Understanding history helps you avoid repeating mistakes. It tells you what stage a system is in. Is it growing or declining? Different stages need different strategies. Also, look at the culture. Every group has unwritten rules. These rules often beat formal policies. Learn to decode the cultural signals. Work within them instead of fighting them. People have predictable psychological tendencies. Some are cautious and need proof. Others are impulsive. Some want to compete. Others want to collaborate. If you understand these patterns, you can predict behavior. You can design your approach to fit the person. Remember the larger systemic forces too. Economic cycles and social movements create huge currents. Don't fight the current. Position yourself to benefit from it. Individual effort can rarely beat a systemic trend, but if you align with it, your results will be massive. Every action has unintended consequences. One reaction leads to another. You must think through these loops. Develop structured analytical thinking. Look for information that proves you wrong. Keep updated as new data comes in. Most importantly, stay humble. The moment you think you have it all figured out, you become vulnerable. A master stays skeptical of their own understanding. Strategic decision-making is a science. Most people use intuition and emotion. That works for small things, but for big things, it fails. You need a systematic approach. Start by framing the decision correctly. How you frame it determines what options you see. Is this a problem to solve or an opportunity to grab? Clearly identify what you are trying to decide. Are you choosing between two things, or are you trying to find new options? Expand your set of options. Most people only look at the obvious choices. Generate creative alternatives. Get past the fake constraints. Just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean it is impossible. Assess each option on multiple levels. Look at resource needs. Look at whether you can undo the choice later. Think in probabilities. Don't just look for the most likely outcome. Consider the full range of results. Risk and uncertainty are different. Risk is when you know the odds. Uncertainty is when you don't even know what might happen. Use scenario planning for uncertainty. Look for choices that work well in many different futures. Sometimes the best move is the one that keeps you in the game. Watch out for your own biases. Confirmation bias makes you look for evidence you are right. Anchoring makes you stick to the first thing you heard. Use a devil's advocate to challenge your ideas. Imagine your plan has already failed. Now, work backward to find out why. Time pressure is a huge enemy. When we rush, we make emotional choices. Create a buffer whenever you can. Remember that execution is just as important as the choice. A great decision is worthless if it isn't done well. Monitor your results. Be ready to quit if things aren't working. Don't let your ego keep you on a failing path. Develop your judgment. Analysis helps you see facts. Judgment helps you know when to trust your gut. You must learn to think several moves ahead. Most people only look at the next step. Strategic anticipation maps out the whole chain reaction. If you move, how will they respond? Then how will you respond to them? Use backward induction. Start at your goal. Work backward to the present. This shows you which moves are actually useful. It stops you from taking dead-end paths that only look good now. Understand commitment. If you can commit to a path, it changes how others act, but it also limits you. Know the different types of players. Collaborative people look for a win-win. Competitive people want it all. Tailor your move to the person you are facing. Control the tempo of the situation. Sometimes you want to speed things up. This stops others from organizing. Sometimes you want to slow down. This gives you time to think. Tactics are small moves. Strategy is the big plan. Don't win the battle, but lose the war. The highest level of thinking is recursive. Think about what they think you are going to do. Sometimes the best move is the most obvious one. Other times, you need to be completely unpredictable. Stay flexible. The future won't be exactly what you expect. Build options into your plan. There are many types of leverage. Positional leverage puts you at the center of a system. Informational leverage comes from seeing what others miss. Relationship leverage multiplies your power through other people. This isn't about using people, it's about mutual value. Help others win, so they want to help you. Technological leverage allows you to scale your work. Capital leverage includes your money and your reputation. These are assets that pay dividends. Systemic leverage involves changing the rules of the game. Instead of working harder, change the policy. Temporal leverage is about perfect timing. Combining these types creates exponential results. Always ask if there is a way to reach your goal with less effort. Use leverage before you use brute force. But remember, leverage also makes failures bigger. Use it with wisdom and careful risk management. Every conversation is a strategic opportunity. It's about influencing perception. People make choices based on emotion first. Then they use logic to justify it. Facts alone won't change many minds. You must build trust first. Understand your audience. Do they want data, or do they want a story? Speak their language. Use framing to present your message. A half-full glass feels different than a half-empty one. Frame your proposal to match their values. Timing matters in talk too. Don't deliver a message when someone is stressed. Wait for the right moment. Sometimes you need to plant a seed and let it grow. True influence often feels like no influence at all. Give people the illusion of choice. Let them discover the idea on their own. They will own it more if they feel they chose it. Build long-term credibility. Trust is built over time. Be authentic. People can smell a fake. Manage your nonverbal cues. Your tone and body language say more than your words. People mirror your energy. If you stay calm, they will too. Every talk creates a precedent. How you treat someone today sets the stage for tomorrow. Think about your reputation. Crisis is inevitable. No matter how much you plan, things will go wrong. Acceptance is your first tool. Build resilience before you need it. Have multiple streams of income. Develop diverse skills. When a crisis hits, stay clear-headed. Panic narrows your vision. Speed is important, but don't be hasty. Make choices even with incomplete info. Waiting for perfect data usually means missing the window. Ruthlessly prioritize. You can't fix everything at once. Focus on the few things that keep your options open. Crisis also creates unique chances. When things break, new space opens up. Shift your view from what you are losing to what you can gain. Create your own opportunities by disrupting patterns that hold you back. Use these challenges as a catalyst for growth. You should emerge stronger than you were before. You need a strategic operating system for your life. This coordinates your goals and actions. Base it on your own mission and values. These principles should guide your choices. Use a system for gathering information. Don't just wait for it. Filter the signal from the noise. Have frameworks for making consistent decisions. This reduces decision fatigue. Connect your daily tasks to your long-term dreams. Allocate your resources wisely. Time and attention are limited. Every yes is a no to something else. Make these trade-offs on purpose. Use feedback to learn from your results. Success can be misleading if it was just luck. Analyze why you won or lost. Manage your network as a long-term asset. Stress test your plans regularly. Ask what if about your biggest assumptions. The deepest level is psychological. Understand that people don't see reality. They see their perception of reality. If you change the perception, you change the outcome. Use social proof to show that others are already on board. Use scarcity and urgency to drive action. But be honest, fake scarcity will ruin your trust. Establish authority in your field. People listen to experts. Reciprocity is a powerful force. When you give, people feel the need to give back. Give value first. Give it generously. Understand group dynamics too. People act differently in a crowd. Identify the early adopters and the skeptics. Tailor your message to each role. Most of all, be aware of your own biases. Protect yourself from being manipulated. No one wins alone. Your network is your net worth. Adopt an abundance mindset. Helping others doesn't hurt you. It creates mutual benefit. Ask what you can do for them. Value can be info, connections, or support. Network effects happen when a group becomes more valuable as it grows. Be a connector. Bring people together. Look for partners with strengths that you lack. 1 + 1 should equal more than 2. Think in decades. Every skill you learn is compounding. Develop dynamic capabilities. This is the ability to learn and adapt forever. Watch the megatrends. Position yourself to benefit from them. Reputation compounds too. Be consistent even when it's hard. Deliver quality work on the small things. This builds trust for the big things. Legacy-minded thinking asks if you are leaving the world better. Don't just extract value, create it. Execution is the ultimate test. A strategy is just a concept until you act. Break big goals into tiny, actionable tasks. Identify the bottlenecks and dependencies. Build systems that work even when you are not motivated. Motivation fades. Systems last. Review your progress often. Allocate resources to the highest impact spots. Communication is key when working with others. Everyone needs to know their role. Mastery comes from practice. It starts with using these frameworks on purpose. Eventually, they become natural. You start to do them without thinking. This frees your mind for the unique parts of each situation. Think about your own strategic thinking. Fix your blind spots. Strategy without character is a trap. Destructive strategy eventually fails. Authentic, value-driven strategy is robust. Life isn't only about calculation. Sometimes you just need to be present. Know when to be strategic and when to be human. Balance your time horizons. Don't get paralyzed by the big picture. Don't get lost in the small grind. True mastery is the ability to create positive results in the middle of chaos. When you can stay calm and creative no matter what, you have won. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are the one shaping them. Your journey starts now. Every challenge is a chance to practice. Every failure is a lesson. The world needs more people who think this way. It's time to build your own strategy. The choice is yours.